What's up, family? It's your boy VE to the double LE, and I'm back here again with another deck profile. I like to switch it up, and I switched it up again. Yesterday I got top 4 with this crazy, insane Thunder Dragon, Danger, good stuff deck. Before I get started, this deck is not budget. Sorry, guys. It was just a bunch of stuff that just happened to go really well together. But if you could pick it up and you got the stuff sitting around, there are other options that I'll kind of go through with the deck, and then I'll discuss some changes that I'm going to be making, because there are quite a few. So let's get it started. First, with the starter, I only have one solar. I can tell you right now, that was a mistake. This card is insane currently in the deck. It also works with a couple other cards we have in the deck. I should probably definitely up this to at least one more. 3 Aloof Lupine. This card is also insane. The fact that it banishes for cost makes your opponent a little hesitant to respond. So, because a lot of times they want to hold for the Dark or the Roar. Then I also played the Sacred Beast cards, 2 and 2. These will probably get cut. I sided them out most every game. It's not bad for another version of the deck, for a more budget version of the deck, but these will definitely be replaced with better cards. Then the Thunder Dragon engine. I'm playing 60 cards, of course, so I want to go with 3, and 2 Matrix. Also 1 Hawk. All of these cards are pretty good. You could probably, there's an argument to up a Hawk to 2, simply because Hawk is just that good. Roar actually has so many things, but you really want to try to trigger your Titan as much as possible. So 3 Darks for sure, and then activating the effects of Roar and Hawk in hand. Then I played a Danger package. This Danger package is looking weird because it is. I just couldn't find my second Nessie. It's somewhere around. But we have Snake, Chupacabra, who's really good for another card you'll see. Jackalope, of course. Bigfoot to try to force problematic cards. Like I said, it's only 1 Nessie, but it should be 2, and then 2 copies of Mothman. These cards are all relevant. I wouldn't change a thing. Then we get to my Chaos package, which is pretty large. Of course, you know, the Racism Brothers, the Black and White Dragon, the Valkyrie, which is the most diverse of all of these. I'll actually consider putting this up to 2, simply because if you have a specific one in your grave, these cards are a little bit worse than she is, and she is a target for another card you'll see later. Chaos Creator, I should have played 2. Legionnaire, it's really nice, and then you could play whichever one of these guys you want to, because they're searchable in this deck. I just chose this one, but I probably should have chose the attribute guy, because we do have quite a few attributes in the deck, so it's pretty easy to do. When you go through your, and then we had 1 copy. I probably should have upped her to 2, because she returns them back to deck. Of course, we're playing the Dagdas of the Scythe, and then the reason why this isn't, one of the reasons why this deck isn't budget, we played the Destiny Hero package. And then we played 2 Malicious. There should be 1 more hero. I just couldn't find room to put Plasma. But Disc Commander is also an option for this. So there's a reason why my package is large as well. So then we move on to the spells. That's all the monsters. Sacred Beast cards for the Sacred Beast combo. Again, these will probably come out with the Sacred Beast cards. Gold Sark, because it's mandatory in this deck. You can't play Thunder Dragons and not play Gold Sark. It's just free. Before Flunder Reeds was out here doing it, and then Thunder Dragons was doing it. Of course, 3 Chaos Space can't have a Chaos deck without it. Insane +1s with Allure of Darkness. Card destruction is actually crazy. I got ashed on this a couple times just because a lot of times people are like holding out. They're holding hand traps. If you could force the ash here, then it's nuts. Into the Void, I just wanted to try the card out, but I didn't use it a single time, so it'll probably come out. And now we get to the best card. This card is insane. Small World lets you use most of your deck to search most of the other parts of your deck. This card and the interaction it has, you can actually use this to search your arch nemesis cards. I know it's not as fancy as the way that like Sword Soul does it, but opening this card can get you into whichever arch nemesis monster you want to. You can get into extenders, you can search dangers. Situationally, it's just your deck thinning. You can do so much if you have deck cards in your hand. It also gives you mileage using Thunder Dragon, because the OG Thunder Dragon, honestly, is the old way to use it was just like, oh, I'll banish it, I'll add it, I'll discard it, I'll shuffle it back for Titan later. Now you can search 2, and then rather than losing a card in your hand, you're just trading value, because you just add the extra Thunder Dragon and use it for Small World and get some value out of that card. So 2 ready fusions, because we are playing the Kaminari attack, because you make Titans easy. Then we have 2 Thunder Dragon fusion card is insane. If it gets in the graveyard, it's a search. You can also summon your Titans with it. So a lot of times you use 1 Titan for your combo, and then you can make a second one later. So kind of like people do with the excuse me, my sinuses are really kicking my ass, man. Kind of like people do with the Ominous Omen, where one is part of the first turn combo, and then the other is actually be used. But the difference is that you can recycle these, so you can shuffle back the first Thunder Dragon Titan off the second one, and then the last one is 3 Fusion Destiny. I mean, DP, it's a good card. I had played no traps. I probably should have. Mystic Mind hurt a lot, and that was my only loss. I lost to Mystic Mind Dinos. So, extra deck, Link Karibo, the Anima, and the Curious. These will all come out when the Sacred Beast combo comes out. But if you're playing the budget variant, this works well, because you can also play the Chaos Bestower or Chaos Betrayer, who should probably be in this deck too, but we have other ways of getting them in the graveyard. Then you have IP, the Dagda for the combo, Anaconda, Unicorn. Access can probably come out, to be honest. You never make them. Appaloosa's part of your combo. This is actually part of your IP combo, where you can pivot into this or Unicorn, but if you pivot into this with DPE, and it lets you pop 2 cards. So it's really effective against like back row decks, because a lot of times they're not playing monsters. So at the end phase, you actually get a few pops. So during the end phase, you can when they set cards, use DPE pop itself, card on their field. Unchained Abomination will trigger, pop another card on their field. Then the end phase, Unchained Abomination will trigger, pop another card on their field. It essentially makes it for game. So when you have your opponent on the back foot, they really just can't come back. The Kaminari attack, of course, the 2 Titans, and then finally 2 DPEs. This card is insane. Making 2 is fine. There's also been, against the Dino player, this was really good, because he used the Lithosag and looked at my extra deck, and I had 2 DPEs, so he couldn't banish one of them. But the extra deck, like I said, there's some flexibility here. If you're not playing a Curious package, then you can play other things. If you want to play like a PK Engine or something like that, you have all kinds of options. The side deck has a lot of stuff that should have been in the main deck, so I'll just kind of run over it. It's not really important, really. There are 2 Twin Twisters in here somewhere. 2 Twin Twisters, 2 Tactics, 2 Imperm, 2 Valor, 1 Droplet because I ain't feel like looking for the other ones, 2 Chalice, 2 Evenly, a Reboot, and a Droll. A lot of changes are going to be made where I'm playing more so around hand traps. I don't feel the deck is necessarily needs to play like Crossout, but we do lose Heart to Lancia, so Crossout will probably go into the side just because I need to play. Game Sorry for game 1 with Dinos was crazy. Game 2, I opened Small World, Allure, Gold Sark, Chaos Space, and Imperm. The hand is broken if I don't get Lancet. I got Lancet, I just passed, and then he destroyed me. So there's a lot of changes that are going to be made to the deck. I'll probably keep playing this deck because it was really fun. The deck is insane. Like I said, it can play through Flunder. Decks like that are a problem, so Chalice and things will probably come in the main, just because the only cards that really bother you in that whole deck is the Barrier Statue. Because most Tri-Brigade decks don't use the Barrier Statue, and a lot of them want to use Ensemble Blue Robin. We can probably get away with that, especially a lot of them don't make the Robin initially using the Cobalt, so it's targetable. And then some people, but if they're smart, they put it under their bird. But there's a lot of ways to out that board with this deck, and there's a lot of things we can do with this. So I'm going to keep playing around with this deck. There are some options. Like I said, if you can't afford Small World because they're expensive, I was lucky and picked mine up while they were cheap. You can just max out on stuff and then just play more draw cards like Desires and things like that, just to kind of accelerate your engine. And then as far as to play around the Lancia, you could probably play a Crusadia package or something like that. But I'm going to keep working, and I'm going to let you guys know what happens. So tell me what you think about the deck, whether you like it, whether you dislike it, you hate it, whether you have a better build. Let me know. It's your boy VE to the double LE signing out.